Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's video we'll be discussing about some basic concepts chapters of organic chemistry which is related to our class 11 or first PU. So in the previous video we discussed about how hydrocarbons are clearly called a certain type of organic compounds, right? For example, CH4 molecule, C2H6 molecule, C2H2 molecule, C2H4 molecule, etc. And further, hydrocarbons are usually called as the organic compounds. Most of all cases what happens is most of the organic compound usually have either a carbon or a hydrogen involved in it, and the carbon and hydrogen will be involved in bond forming with one another. So therefore whenever you consider for a hydrocarbon, it can be represented either in 2-dimension or in a 3-dimension. Okay, organic compound can be represented either in a 2-dimension or in a 3-dimension. So now in this particular video we'll be discussing about how to represent hydrocarbons or organic compounds in either 2-dimension or in 3-dimension on a sheet of paper. So that is called the structural representation of organic compounds. So as I said, organic compounds can be represented in 2-dimension or in 3-dimension. So for an organic compound to be expressed in case of 2-dimension, what we observe is whenever you consider bonds, example for a Lewis structure, what we do is we explain a bond formation by resulting because of the sharing of 2 electrons between 2 atoms, right? 1 electron of one atom is mutually shared with the other electron of the other atom with the respective nuclei, and that results in the formation of bond. So that is what we have discussed in the previous chapters. So in case of 2-dimensional representation, we have 3 particular types of representation which can be used to represent an organic compound. In case of 2-dimensional representation itself, we have 3 different types of representations which can be used to write down or explain the structure of organic compounds. So first one is complete form, that is also called complete representation. Second one is called the condensed representation, and third one is called bond line representation. So we have 3 types of 2-dimensional representation. So those are first one complete representation, second one condensed representation, and third one is bond line representation. So when you consider for the 2-dimensional representation, we have these 3 types. So now first we will discuss about these particular 3 types of representation which can be used to represent an organic compound. Let us consider 3 or 4 examples. We'll write the structures of those particular examples with respect to these 3 types. So if we consider 3 molecules, let us say ethane molecule, ethene, ethyne, and ethanol. So if we consider these 4 molecules, so these 4 are quite different to one another. So ethane is a molecule of hydrocarbon which has carbon in sp3 hybridization. Ethene has an sp2 hybridized carbon. Ethane has sp hybridized carbon, whereas ethanol has carbon and oxygen bond linked with it. Okay, so we have 4 different types of molecules, and if you use these 4 different types of compounds, it can be represented with respect to the one another particular structural formula. So whenever you have to represent an organic compound, first you need to know its respective structural formula. Okay, or you can also say that you need to know its original molecular formula for a respective molecule. So if we know its respective molecular formula, then it can be represented in several structural formulas. Like for example, if you have to consider for the molecular formula of ethene. So molecular formula of ethane is C2H6. Molecular formula of ethane is C2H6. Molecular formula of ethene is C2H4. Molecular formula of ethyne is C2H2. Molecular formula of ethanol is C2H6O. So these are the molecular formulas of respective these four compounds. Now first we'll start representing these compounds in their complete form. So for the complete form, what we do is we need to explain the structure or represent the structure of this particular organic compound in a split manner. Okay, so we have to write down the structure of this particular molecular formula of organic compound in a complete split manner, that is indicating a single bond by single dash. So in the complete form of representation, you have to indicate single bond by a single line, a double bond by a double line or a double dash, and a triple bond by a triple dash. Okay, a single bond is represented by single dash, double bond is represented by double dash, triple bond is represented by triple dash, which arises between if there is a presence of double or triple bond present between two atoms. And if you observe any other element other than carbon and hydrogen which has a lone pair of electrons, then those lone pair of electrons can maybe or may not be represented in the structural formula. It may be or may not be represented. There is no certain requirement of representing those lone pair of electrons in the structural formula. But in some cases, when you are explaining the structural formula in order to explain the reaction which is happening over there, you might have to use the lone pair of electrons also. Okay. So now let us start to write down this particular structural formulas in the complete representation of these organic compounds. So the first one is complete representation. So in the complete representation, we said it has to be substituted in, if it is a presence of single bond, represented as single dash, presence of double bond, that means a double dash, presence of triple bond, represented as triple dash. Now if you consider for carbon, first write down the carbon atoms. Okay, so carbon atoms, two carbon atoms are present over there. Next, you need to write down the structure clearly in such a way that all the four bonds of carbons are satisfied. Now, if you consider for this C2H6 molecule which has two carbon, it should be having 8 electrons each. Since it does not have 2 electrons, that indicates that since it does not have 2 hydrogens, as with respect to normal carbon atom, which carbon atoms will be formed with 4 hydrogen bonds, right? So now there is absence of 2 hydrogen atoms. Therefore, what we can say is there will be a bond present between carbon and carbon. Now the remaining 3 bonds will be satisfied by 3 hydrogen atoms. So this is the way of representing ethane molecule in complete representation. Now if you consider for C2H4 molecule, so again write down 2 carbon atoms. In here, if you observe carefully, there is absence of 4 hydrogens. That means you can share 2 electrons these 2 carbon atoms, 2 hydrogens for these 2 carbon atoms each. So we satisfy the number of 4 carbon atom, we satisfy the number of 2 carbon atom. But we are yet to satisfy the number of bonds between carbon atoms. So therefore, in ethene molecule, we have carbon-carbon double bond indicated as a double dash. Next, for ethyne molecule, so here there is absence of 6 hydrogen. So first write down 2 carbons, 1 carbon each, 1 hydrogen each for each carbon. So there will be still 3 bonds to be satisfied, and 3 bonds will be present between 2 carbon atoms. So this is how you represent ethyne molecule, which has a triple bond denoted as a triple dash. Now if you consider for ethanol molecule, this is nothing but C2H5OH type of a molecule. So here this can be written as CCO. Okay, this can be written as CCO. First, oxygen is always present in the terminal position. It should be attached with 1 hydrogen. Okay. It should be attached with 1 hydrogen. Next, there is the left hydrogens are 5. This carbon carries 3 hydrogens. So there will be 1 bond between carbon and carbon, 1 bond between carbon and oxygen, and this carbon will be carrying 2 hydrogens. So this is the complete structure of ethanol molecule. If you want, you can denote the lone pair of electrons present on oxygen of this particular ethanol molecule by indicating two dots, as in case of Lewis structure. So this is how you represent given molecules of organic compound in complete structural representation, where single bonds are represented as single dash, double bonds are represented by double dash, triple bonds are represented by triple dash. If there is lone pair of electrons present, then they may or may not be represented in the structural formula. Okay. So now is the condensed representation. Now for the condensed representation, what we observe is, instead of writing the bonds, we ignore the bonds. So we completely ignore the bonds. We'll just write down the carbon atoms and number of hydrogen atoms attached to it. The second is condensed representation. For condensed representation, if you clearly know what we are written for the structure of C2H6 was carbon with carbon and 3 hydrogens, right, for each carbon atom. So in condensed form, what we do is we completely ignore the bonds between the carbon-carbon or carbon-hydrogen atom. We just write down this as one nucleus. So these three are considered as one nucleus. These three are considered as one more nucleus. So this molecule is represented as CH3, CH3. So this is called so this molecule is represented as CH3, CH3. So this is the condensed representation. Remember, there should be no bond present between the condensed representation. In certain cases, what we observe is these might be linked by a single bond. Doesn't matter if you are explaining for a reaction, but if you are explaining for a structural representation in condensed form, you should not write bonds between carbon atoms also. Okay, so this is the type of representation which we use for condensed form. Now, what happens is, if you have just one single bond, there will be no problem if you don't represent the bonds between the carbon and carbon atom. But if you are representing an organic compound which has a double bond or a triple bond, then what happens is, in some cases, you might have to represent the double bonds between the carbon-carbon atom also. But you can ignore the carbon-hydrogen bonds. Now, if you consider for ethene molecule, it has carbon-carbon double bond, right? Which you already write the structure like this in the complete form for a C2H4 molecule. So here you can write it as CH2 double bond CH2. So this is well and good as a condensed representation for ethene molecule. Next, similarly for ethane molecule, it can be represented as CH triple bond CH. And next for ethanol molecule, you can represent this as CH3 CH2 OH. So here you might get confused while representing this particular CH3 molecule. There is no confusion if you are just writing this normal structural formula. You can write it as CH3 CH2 OH. It doesn't matter. But if you are linking the bonds, if you are denoting the bonds, you cannot write it as CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, it has to be in this type, CH2 double bond CH2. So now this is about the condensed representation of compounds of certain organic compounds. Now what happens here is, if you are considering for an organic compound which is substituted by more than one carbon atom, if you have two or more similar groups attached to the carbon atom, then what we do is, like for example, if you consider the complete structure of a compound, let us say in this type. Let us say of this type. Hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. consider particular compound, we have this carbon attached to more than two CH3 groups. So in this type of structures, we cannot write CH3, 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 CH2. Right? If you are about to write down the condensed form of this particular organic molecule, you cannot write it as CH3, 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 CH, CH2, CH3. So this is the wrong type of representation. So what you have to do in this particular case is, you can write it as CH3, 3 times CH, CH2, CH3. Okay, so this is how you represent if we have multiple similar groups attached to a particular carbon atom in the condensed form. So instead of writing as CH3, 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 C, that is 3 CH3 groups, one over here, one over here, and one over here. Instead of writing this type of a structure, what you have to consider is, you need to write on the subscript 3, that is the number of similar groups attached on the particular carbon atom to that. So in this particular way, you can indicate the condensed form. And further, you don't have to write this CH2 and single bonds. You can directly write C, CH2, CH3. So this will be the condensed form structure. Okay. Next is bond line structure. So when you consider for smaller elements of organic compounds, the condensed form of representation is quite easy. But if you consider for an organic compound which has more than 15 carbon atoms or more than 20 carbon atoms, then what happens is, you cannot represent all the particular organic compounds carbon atom in the condensed form. Therefore, scientists, what they did was, they further condensed the condensed form. Okay, they further condensed the condensed representation in a bond line structure, where what we do is, instead of ignoring the bonds, we ignore the carbon and hydrogen atoms present in the given organic compound. So that is the third type of representation, called the bond line representation. So in the bond line representation, you have to be reminded of two particular points. That is, they are always denoted in zigzag form. They are denoted in zigzag form. So in this particular zigzag form, if there is nothing present, if there is nothing, no atoms or any functional groups are present on the terminal position. So these are called the terminal position. If there is no groups present in the terminal position, that means it is nothing but a CH3 group present over there. Okay, like for example, if you consider for 0, 1.23, it can also be denoted as 1.23, right? So if there is nothing over here, means it indicates there is a 0 present. Similarly, if there is nothing present on the, no atoms, if there is no atoms present on the, indicated on the bond line structure of the terminal position, that clearly means that there is a CH3 group present. Okay, if you don't have to write CH3 at that particular position, you must and should indicate the atom which is present over there. Like if you consider for hydrogen, you have to indicate the hydrogen present. If you are considering for any functional group, you have to write down the atom over there. Okay, if you don't have any atom or functional group present at the terminal position, it is clearly indicating that there is a CH3 group present over there. Next, and the zigzag terminal, the one at the node, these are called the nodes of the zigzag bond line structure. Okay, the upper position and the down position, those are called the nodes of the structure, and each of these nodes represents a CH2 molecule. Each of the node represents a CH2 molecule, provided if there is no functional group present. Okay, if you have a structure like this, then it means CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. But if you have an OH group present over here, then instead of CH, you need to write CHOH at the second carbon atom. So this is how you represent the bond line structure. Okay, so let us write down the structures of bond line representation for these 4 molecules. And further, the one more point which you have to remember over here is, if you are considering for compounds which have double bond or triple bond, Double bond compounds can be written in the zigzag form itself, where we denote the double bond present over the certain carbon atom. If we are subjected to write the triple bond structure, if you are writing a triple bond structure of an organic compound, if you are considering an organic compound with a triple bond, then the triple bond compound should be written in such a way that it is in a straight line, it is not bent. So there should be written as a one dot at the position of a carbon atom, indicating that particular one dot as a carbon atom present there, and later you can share the structure. Okay, we'll do some examples, then you can understand those structures. So first we'll write down these four basic structures of organic compounds. So first one is C2H6. So what we did was CH3, CH3, right? So this can be written as a line. This can be indicated as a line. Okay, so where one terminal indicates a CH3 or another terminal indicates a CH3. But usually what we do is, instead of considering this as a line, what we do is we won't write it as a particular line. What happens is, whenever write the consideration structure for simpler molecule of two carbon atom, you cannot easily write down the bond line structure. That is because if you write down the bond line structure for two carbon atom molecules, then what we have to observe is this bond can be confused for a dash bond or a reaction bond. Okay, so therefore bond line structures are represented for those compounds which have more than two carbon atom. Like for example, if you consider for a molecule C3H8, so this can be represented as like this. So where we have a CH3 group here, CH2 group here, and a CH3 here. Okay. Next, if you have to consider for a molecule with of type CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH, so this can be denoted as 1, 2, 3 OH. So 1, 2, 3, 4 OH group. So this is how you represent bond line structure of certain organic compounds. Further, cyclic organic compounds are also classified, are also denoted in the bond line structure itself. Now if you have a cyclic structure of type CH2, CH2, CH2. So what we do is, we indicate this as a triangle. If you have 4 carbon atom, that means it is having a square. 5 carbon atoms, a pentagon. 6 carbon atoms, an hexagon. So the number of carbon atom indicates the number of edges present in a given ring. Okay, so if there is 3 carbon atom, it will be a triangle. If there is 4 carbon atom, there is a square. If there is 5 carbon atom, a pentagon. 6 carbon atom, an hexagon. If you are considering for a compound of type which has a double bond or a triple bond, then the bond line structure is represented as, for example, let us say CH3, CH, double bond, CH, CH2, CH3. So first let us count the number of carbon atoms. It is 5 carbon atom compound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So join those points. You will get the 5 carbon atom compound. And next we need to understand where is the double bond present. So double bond is present between these two carbon. So therefore you can write on the double bond over here. So that indicates the bond line structure for this particular compound. Now if you consider the same compound with a triple bond, if you consider this compound which has a triple bond, now instead of writing a zigzag structure, first you need to write the triple bond in a horizontal position like this. Okay, and on the end of the terminal of this triple bond, write a dot. Okay, indicating these are the 2 carbon atoms which are present in the triple bond. Next, you can continue the zigzag form. So CH3, if you don't want to have to denote the CH3, CH2, CH3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always remember, a triple bond has to be always represented in a horizontal position. It should not be present in a zigzag manner. Double bonds and single bonds can be represented in zigzag manner, but triple bonds are always represented in horizontal manner. Okay, So these are the examples for bond line representation, that is which is explaining the two-dimensional representation. Next is three-dimensional representation of organic compounds. When you consider for three-dimensional representation, it is quite difficult to explain the three-dimensional representation of organic compounds in two dimension. But if you exactly know the points at which the compound is present, since we know carbon atom is a tetrahedral compound, right? Carbon atom forms a tetrahedral geometry. So therefore, it will be having four bonds in such a way that these four bonds are present on the opposite diagonals of a cube. So if you consider this as a cube, so if carbon atom is at the center, then the compounds or the diagonals present of this particular compound will be present at the opposite ends. So if two atoms are present in this position, then two more atoms will be present in this position. Okay, opposite of the two phase diagonal, 1 bond, 2, 3 and 4. So this is how the tetrahedral geometry forms. Therefore, if you observe carefully, if this is the plane of the molecule, if this phase diagonal of the cube, okay, if you consider the phase diagonal which is passing exactly at the center of the cube from here to here, so one atom which is away from the observer, this atom is towards you. Therefore, a carbon atom can be represented like this. Okay, if you observe carefully, okay, so this is the carbon atom one over here, this carbon atom, and this is a attached hydrogen atom. So this is the top right, this on the back left, bottom backwards and front bottom. Okay, so this carbon atom which I am holding here. This carbon atom is the back one. This is on the front. This is on the back. So two atoms will be on the same plane as of the carbon atom, and two atoms will be away of the plane, pointed outwards. So when you have to represent a CH4 molecule in three dimension, we have to use a convention called dash bond and wedge bond. A dash bond and a wedge bond. So this is called wedge bond. Sorry, this is called the dash bond and this is called the wedge bond. So what does this wedge and dash bond represents? Wedge bond represents the molecular atom attached to the particular carbon atom is away from the plane. It is redirected outwards of the plane and it is present towards the observer. So this carbon atom or this particular hydrogen atom can be indicated as a dash wedge bond. Okay, so these are the two hydrogen which are present in the same plane, and this is the hydrogen atom which is present away from the observer, so which is denoted by a dash bond. Okay, so this is how we represent carbon atom in two dimension and three dimension. I hope you have understood all these concepts clearly. If you have any doubts, please do comment down below. In the next video, we will discuss more about this particular chapter. Thank you for watching.